Greetings on Nature Conservation Day. Ironically, we have very worrying news as we have crossed the Earth Overshoot Day as early as July 24th this year. This marks the date when we have used up natural resources exceeding what the Earth can regenerate in a year. From now, we will be using resources meant for future generations. Calculated by the Global Footprint Network, this compares how much the Earth can regenerate to how much we take from the planet. When calculations began way back in 1971, Earth Overshoot Day was 29th December. The ecological services of the planet, from carbon absorption, clean water, minerals, soil and food, go beyond what the planet is able to regenerate each year as our populations grow. While food and water deficit is noticed, what goes unseen are the biodiversity loss, pollution of land, air and water, as also global warming. Like the canary in the mine, we miss it till it's too late. We have altered around 95% of the planet's land surface through our actions, be it farming, industries or the mining. We have in the process driven away millions of plants and animals to near extinction. We have polluted the planet, making it unhealthy for life, both for humans and other species. We continue to do this despite the incriminating evidence of the result of this kind of work. We think our buildings, cars, bridges, roads, rockets and space stations are our triumphs, right? We refuse to see what we trample on. We do not see the ants, bees and butterflies. We refuse to see the orangutan or the African wild dog when we raise land for oil plantations and cattle farming. While the green sea turtle is almost invisible to our deep sea trawlers. We do not see the rivers dying. We do not see the degraded soil. Almost 1/3 of it is degraded. Where will our food come from? What will it be made of? Plastic and silicon? Unless we change our attitude and our course, we are headed to a bleak future. Is this what we want to leave for future generations? Interestingly, there are pockets of populations that have always thought about the future generations, like the Aztecs in the past, and more recently the North American people or the Finnish folks. In its 2025 report on interconnected disaster risks, the UN University talks of these beacons of hope amidst global presentism. On the spiritual path, gurus always direct us, right, to live in the present and not dwell on past mistakes or future projections. However, this presentism takes a beating in the UN report when it looks at attitudes and policy that refuse to take a long-term vision. It was interesting to know that Native Americans in Northeast still live by a 7th generation principle. This calls a community to consider how their decisions will affect the next 7 generations. Now, Hogwarts, we know, has a Ministry of Magic, but guess what Finland has? A Committee for the Future, yes, and it has inspired a few other nations like Chile, Iceland and the Philippines in the same. The committee takes up future problems and opportunities when exploring choices for today. Can we possibly influence our governments to form such committees? Pushing luck, how about one that looks out for not just humans but also other species? We have seen that powerful lobbies can derail the best intentions of environmental panels or ministries anywhere. Money rules. Making the fast buck is the norm of the day. Can we imagine anything that will change that? The report suggests 5 fundamental changes. Reconsider responsibility, reimagine future, realign with nature, redefine values and rethink waste. For details, do check on the link given below. In essence, it notes how the decline began with our lack of alignment with nature and how we think of ourselves as different from nature. Can we realign? Instead of adopting the Kissimmee River case in Florida, where the canal construction along 160 kilometers to avert flooding saw the wetlands dry out and affect huge bird populations. Instead of that, can we adopt the Vietnamese model that is tolerant to flooding and sees it as beneficial in many ways? Can we look at projects that not only benefit humans but also other species? Can we start taking responsibility for all humans, not only those in our community or nations? After all, the poorest lot are suffering from climate change caused by the rich nations. A mere 2% wealth tax on global billionaires can add up to $250 billion, says the report, and this is money which can be used for the poor. The 2 billion tons of household trash produced every year not only pollutes land, air, and water, but it wastes a lot of resources that we can ill afford. If a town in Japan, Kamikatsu, can adapt near zero waste strategies successfully since 2003, why can't the rest of us? Can the developed nations stop exporting plastic and toxic waste to poor nations in Asia, instead recycle them back at home? It is a big job but not impossible. Perhaps the first step would be to instill the right values through our education system and a holistic well-being for every human and animal alone can see life on this planet thriving. For this, as the report says, we need change at the individual level and at structural levels. Each one of us need to be more conscious of our decisions as we help create waste dumps on the planet. Ask ourselves if we really need that piece of jewelry, bag or shoe. See if we are disposing our wastes wisely. Are we helping an economy that trashes the planet? Why not be an influencer for the planet? Each one of you can, whether at school, college, office or home. When you have a critical mass following, the authorities will take notice. They have to. With the structural changes that follow, be it incentives, tax or fines, we can make a difference. Maybe we can move the Earth Overshoot day back to December or even the next year. Think about it. Thank you.